The annual African Union Summit has started amid tight security in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. This year's summit will focus on refugees and internally displaced persons. Kimani has this report.
There are 22 million people in Africa who have been forced out of their homes by war or hunger. Countries that are most affected are South Sudan, Central African Republic, Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Somalia. Now, African leaders are putting their heads together to address this challenge.
Where there is no peace and stability in any country, once there's conflict, the people who are mostly affected are ordinary civilians. And therefore, once that happens, it then obviously has an impact on migration patterns.
Women and girls are the worst affected. Conflict has not only exposed them to sexual violence, but also lack of equal opportunities, including education and productive employment.
They need certain infrastructures. The camps they find themselves, do they have the right kind of health services that they need? And then what about their education? How do we propel their education? So we are proposing, under the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, where we talk about peace education, there is a cluster called Peace Education, Education for Peace. There is need for us to come out with different test mechanisms that can be able to give them certificates that they can use to get jobs. It is only then that we can stop the influence of the influx of so many terrorisms and so many indiscriminate happenings within our society.
That part of the problem is conflict within our countries and abuse of human rights. That leads to displacement of our people, either as refugees or internally displaced people.
With just over 7% of refugees and 9% of internally displaced persons resettled, Africa is staring at a bleak future, and her people will be watching keenly to see if leaders gathered in Addis Ababa will silence the guns by next year, ending the cycle of displacements. Kimani, SABC News, Ethiopia.